Good evening and welcome to Bronx Talk. The Bronx River Art Center, known as BRAC, Bronx River Art Center, is one of the most important cultural institutions in the Bronx. While it was founded 40 years ago, in 2017, the Bronx River Art Center opened a beautifully designed $11 million, 18,000 square foot building that is hard by the Bronx River in West Farms. And since then, it's been a vital Bronx location for arts exhibitions, arts education, studio spaces for artists, performance space, and even spaces for public and private events, including, they don't even know I'm going to talk about this, the lovely rooftop space for events and all that. And I've been out there on a summer night, and you can see the subway come by. It's lovely. And if you believe, like we do at BronxNet, that thriving arts and culture is essential for the well-being of our borough, then the Bronx River Art Center literally is a center for culture in the Bronx. Tonight we'll meet the new executive director as well as one of the talented BRAC artist exhibitors. Let's take a deep breath, give ourselves some summer space, and enjoy the beautiful Bronx with the new executive director of the Bronx River Art Center, Akia Squtieri. Akia, it's so nice to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having us. We're delighted to be here. Excited for the
I don't know that I've met somebody so enthusiastic so folks, hang in there. We're going to see something nice. And Michele Brody, who is the creator of the current BRAC Artist Spotlight exhibition. Nice to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. Well, Akia, let's just start with you. Sure. You were incredibly excited. If you go to their website, you can see she wrote this thing about, I just can't wait. This is what I want to do. And she came and sat down. I'm ready to go. Why so excited about the Bronx River Art Center?
Sure. Well, one, I'm a Bronx resident. I've lived in the Bronx for over 20 years. I'm excited to be in service to the community I live in. That was really important to me for the next part of my career, is to get to be in my home borough. And as you said so beautifully, BRAC is a gem of the Bronx, and not only has a beautiful legacy, but I'm so excited for what this revitalized building and what we can add to it and enhance and expand.
Opportunity is a good word to use.
Opportunity, absolutely. I think it's, there's a moment of transition for the organization. Gail Latham, who was the executive director, built a beautiful legacy, and I'm excited to step in and expand for the things to come.
I pulled out the quote. I couldn't resist because that enthusiasm is so important. So many things going on in the Bronx. So we'll put it up on the screen. This is what Akia said: a vibrant and resilient community of artists, educators, students, families, and partners who have long made BRAC a cornerstone of creativity, learning, and cultural exchange in the Bronx. And also, she said, a unique fusion of art, education, and environmental stewardship that reflects the Bronx's rich cultural identity while nurturing the next generation of creators and change makers. Where do I sign up? This is exactly what we need. Coming back to your borough is one thing. You worked in Seattle. I mean, I pulled some things out of your bio. What is it about arts and what is it about the Bronx that goes like this that makes you so excited?
Sure. I think art, I love the idea and the expansiveness of what art can be. You do not have to be a professional artist. You can paint in your studio in front of your kitchen window. You can be a professional artist and do gallery shows and tour the world. And the expansiveness of what an artist means is both so personal and also so community engaged at the same time. I think art also means community. I say community a lot, and I think community for me is connecting people. And I think in this time when we are in a post-COVID world, I'm really excited about exploring what is going to get people back outside of their homes. What do people need right now? And I think people are hungry for human connection. And I think art can mean a lot of things.
Brings people together.
Brings people together. And I think what I'm excited about BRAC, like you said, we have a roof garden, we have an outdoor courtyard, we have a gallery. It's all there. And really thinking about it being a center of collectivity. And I think that's what what the world needs right now, not to be Pollyanna,
Right.
but I think that's really important. I think humanity needs collection, and I think art is such an important little healing collector.
The last question, Michelle, hang in there. We're gonna ask you very similar kinds of things. You were in theater. This
Yes.
was your background. How does that translate? Do you see it the same way? You know, what's the segue that works for you to go from there to here?
Sure. Yes. So my background is primarily theater. I was the director of arts and culture at the 14th Street Y, so I also ran the art gallery there. And I think art is also storytelling, whether it's theater, whether it's dance, whether it's visual art, whether it's music. It's artists telling stories in different mediums. So I think that does translate, and helping to, whether it is a 9-year-old who is taking their first art class and learning the voice of how they want to tell their story, or someone who is a seasoned artist like Michelle who has been telling stories in a different way. I think that's the collection and why I'm so excited to be at BRAC.
Michele Brody, thanks for joining us. We're going to talk about the exhibit Arboreal. Did I say it right?
Arboreal,
Ethereal, capturing the entropy of nature. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But the same kind of questions for you. When did you start being an artist? When did you realize doing this was something that you needed to do?
It's been a burning desire as far as I can remember. But the thing is, I came to visual art through many different art forms. I tried dance. I did a lot of theater in high school.
I'm only smiling because it's funny. You think here's an artist, and I tried this, I tried this, I tried this, and I didn't quite connect. So keep going. This is fascinating.
And again, at the end of high school, my heart was broken when my theater director said to me, "Why don't you try something else?"
So you always wanted to do something in the creative realm.
Yes.
And it was really a matter of finding which realm.
Right. And
So math class and history class, that didn't work. Okay.
Well, that's all part of
Oh,
it.
yes,
It all
good point.
fed into a
Sorry.
foundation. And it was really about working with my hands. And that's where it moved into visual art. So I'm very physical with my work. It's installation, it's sculpture, it's not painting.
Do you remember like the first moment that you said, gee whiz, this work? Oh, do tell.
Yes,
We're
there's
getting right
the
into
story
the
of
bottom line.
when I was in college. I had a boyfriend and I was moving out. I was transferring schools, and he wanted a lock of my hair. So,
Oh, sorry, I
yeah.
didn't mean to giggle about that.
Yeah, no,
But that's
and
lovely.
I wanted to make something special to
Wow.
put that lock of hair into, and it was actually a sewn box that I had embroidered and gave it to him. And that
Wow.
really said to me, this is what I want to do.
Wow.
I want to make things.
And so I'm thrilled that you told us that story. So then when we look at your exhibits and everything you do, it really stems from that desire to put something together of beauty to share with someone. Am I extracting that properly? Yeah. And just some highlights for the folks who are watching about you and how you got to the point where you are now. Like what kinds of things have you done to lead us to, for example, to this exhibit that I can't pronounce?
Really, it started with a background. My father really wanted me to be an architect because he was a builder. My grandfather, my great-grandfather were builders, all in New York, in Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. And I loved the building of the models in architecture and problem solving, but I didn't want to work in the field. I thought it's too competitive, not as many women. And
Well, that's interesting,
And then
too.
I moved into visual art, and it was really an interest in fibers and textiles that first drew me in.
Fascinating. Akia, what I want to do, let's show some pictures, okay?
Sure.
The first one we have is the building of the Bronx River Art Center. And this photograph, I can tell you because I took that photograph, this was taken before it was open. That's why the gate is down.
Right.
Before it was open, when there was still, Gail Nathan was still trying to get the city to come and give it a certificate of occupancy. And I remember taking that picture and looking at it and saying, my goodness, what a, and with BRAC across West Farms. What about the neighborhood? Now, I remember when we were standing there at that time, and there was a mother who walked by with her son and said, when are you going to open this building? And because I want to bring my son to class. Is there a relationship with the neighborhood? Do you find that it's neighborhood people who come in? Of course, everybody comes in for the exhibits and all those other things.
Yeah, yes, and I hope that in the coming years there's even more of a deeper connection to the neighborhood. I think one of the really, really beautiful things, and I think BRAC does so many beautiful things for the community, is often our building and our programs are the first time that youth in this neighborhood get arts programming. The public school system does not have, in that area, does not have as expansive programs in the arts, and often we partner with the local schools. We have a free after-school program for middle school and teenagers where this is their first real integration and exposure to visual art. So I would say, yeah, BRAC does have a deep connection of service and partnership to the community. And my hope is that we will continue to be responsive to what the community needs and not what we think the community needs. And I think those are two different things. That's
to
really
do some
important.
listening as opposed
Yeah.
to dictating. We have pictures of the facility. So let's see. We're just going to run through them. These are some of the art spaces that
Yes.
artists come in and use, and they can have their own studio if they don't have the space in their homes. I mean, here's a couple of examples of that. We can keep rolling.
Yeah, and if I can share, right now we do have 2 open spots at our third floor studios. So come fall, so we have our third floor studios. There's 9 resident artists. They're on a 2-year cycle, and it gives the opportunity for below market rate rents for for artists to have a space and a home.
And you're in the culture of it. I mean,
Yeah.
you're there with other artists, and you feel the
Yes.
like being creative in that. I mean, how nice, as opposed to, not to say there's anything wrong with sitting in your own home and doing it there, but you get the feedback, you get other people, maybe they have some suggestions, and things like that. There is event space, right?
There is an event space, yeah.
And this, of course, is the gallery downstairs, and this is where a lot of the work gets displayed.
Yeah, we have the street-facing gallery. So we have anywhere from 5 to 8 gallery shows per year, depending on the cycle and who's in the space. And then adjoining, we have the event space, which also opens up to our beautiful courtyard that you get to see the Bronx River go right by. And it's a really special place.
It is really special, and the river is there, of course, and all that. All right, Michele, please pronounce it again so I don't mess it up.
Arboreal ethereal.
Arboreal ethereal, capturing the entropy of nature. What was the idea behind this?
Well, arboreal refers to trees, to the forest, and ethereal being ephemeral or ghost-like. And a majority of the work in the show
We can start putting some pictures up there. Go ahead.
The majority of the works are paper castings of trees that are living but maybe sick, and then also trees that had been chopped down or had been blown over. And it's about bringing them back to life.
Did you visualize this beforehand, or you were just kind of making this stuff
Well, this
and then
piece in
said, I want to do
particular-
it for the Bronx River
Yeah,
Art
that
Center?
first piece is called 9 Birches. And that one I really particularly envisioned for BRAC to be in that front window space. And when people walk by, you can see them kind of looking in and like, what's
last
in there?
one, that last one I was looking at, I said, wait a minute, I didn't know they had a garden indoors, that kind of thing. How long did it take you to put it together? And did you do it there at the Bronx River Art Center, or you did it there, like there was like people could come in and watch you do it?
Well, I was
suppose.
actually, I had a very long installation period for the exhibition, thankfully, which was almost 3 weeks. And so, yeah, people were wondering what's going on in here. But the artwork itself, a majority of it was created at the Art Center, where I've also had a studio there, working on the 3rd floor.
You know, then we kind of skipped over that. You have a studio there. Maybe you should kind of repeat or go further on the concept of having a studio there versus having a studio somewhere else. I'm sure it's really worked and seeing other artists, etc.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in particular, my work can be extremely large, but because I had a
Well,
whole...
you are putting in trees. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
I mean, that are all life size. I usually work in small pieces and then put them all together on site. But having that studio really allowed me to work much larger, and and to really physically expand.
That's why when we showed the space, you could see that you could really, as you say, the word expand. Akia, I want to go a little further with the education program. By the way, the exhibit is there till the 16th, so it'll be for the rest of the week, and then there's a closing.
A closing reception on Saturday, August 16th, from 2 to 5.
2 to 5 p.m. Come in, see. It's a great time to see it. I'm sure they'll have a couple of refreshments, and and you'll be with everybody. And you can say hello to Michele and Akia personally. I want to go back to the education piece.
Yeah.
And this, you know this like you know your own name, and I've done enough interviews about this, and I think I understand it pretty well. But I'm just going to re-ask the question: why is it important for kids? What does it do for kids? For parents to say, well, it's a nice idea. I'd like to do this. Why is that good, and what does it do for children?
It's a big question.
Do we have enough time, folks?
Do we have enough time? So I could go into all of the statistics and all of the academia of why arts enrichment is important. But I would rather distill it to one thing. I think art teaches people how to be better humans. And I think it teaches empathy and community. And,
excuse me, and it teaches it without beating you over the head about it.
Yeah.
It teaches it because it's kind of a natural, organic, if you will, thing that happens, right? Go ahead, keep going.
I think that arts, whatever the calling is, whatever the discovery is, whether it's music, dance, theater, visual art, and maybe it won't be a lifelong passion, but I am a kid of arts programs. I am a kid that grew up taking ballet and after school art.
Just like your friend.
Like Michele, right? There's a theme here. And I, obviously it's the career path I chosen, but I don't think I would be the human being I am today without that foundational learning of discovery, of play, of exploration, of curiosity. And all of these things feed into whether it's science or math or English or reading or civics, they all feed into the same place. And I do think that there's something about the worlds of art and culture that it teaches empathy, it teaches curiosity, and it just makes us better humans. We've been telling campfire stories since the birth of humanity, and there's a reason we gather and tell our stories.
I know someone who's an artist now, and she told me that when she was in school, she was discouraged because they said, if you're going to make a tree or you're going to make a house, you have to make it this way. And she was just kind of doing things otherwise, and said it discouraged her for many years. Yeah. Clearly, that's not what happens at the Bronx River Art Center. I want to ask you both this question. Well, I will start with you, Akia. What is the state of art now? We know that funding is an issue, and of course you can't survive without the funding to run the building and run the programs and pay the people. I mean, we know what goes on. What is the state of it now from two perspectives? One, the state of the arts. I mean, people are, I think after the pandemic, are creating even more. But where are we at? Is it a struggle? Is it difficult? I mean, we have the Bronx Council in the Arts. We love them too. They're all part of this whole Bronx equation? Go ahead.
I think it's a big question, and we could sit here for hours talking about it. I think two things are happening simultaneously, as you said. I think we've seen it in our enrollment numbers. We've seen it in the people that are coming in through the doors. Our numbers of participants and students have tripled over the past three years. Of our class enrollment. So we're seeing the lead for it, and at the same time, we are seeing our funding sources, both federal, city, state, right?
I don't even want to ask about federal. That's another.
So
they don't get it. We understand that.
So and it's not just us. Funding sources. You have less funding sources and more art services applying for those same pool of funding, right? So there is a little bit of cannibalism going on of it's a saturation rate of so many important arts organizations, not only in New York City, but across the country, that are in real dire need of financial support. And I hope our communities and our individual donors will step up, because I think that's what the arts need right now, is for individuals to be giving back to their communities however they can, and whatever that means, because sources are hard right now.
This is why we're doing this show today. We're shouting as loud as we can. Michele, from your perspective, with other artists, with yourself and other artists, hard time to create? A difficult time to create, an easy time to create because there's so much going on and you want to react to it? I mean, how do you evaluate the world of art right now and being an artist within that world?
Well, certainly post-COVID has been coming up, and I know that from all the artists I know, that time period was an incredible, fruitful time.
I've heard that.
Ironically
so.
so.
I've heard that a lot, yeah.
But currently, I mean, yes, this project, this exhibition was funded by an Arts Fund grant from the Bronx Council on the Arts to me as the artist. And I've been grateful
I'm glad
for their...
you shouted out to them.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's very, very, very important. Go ahead.
And they've been a great supporter of my work, because a lot of my work is actually created with the community, out in the community, doing workshops, either at BRAC or in the parks, especially in parks around the city. Mm-hmm. I think what...
Excuse me, that's another funding issue, is with our parks. So we're pile it all up together.
Well, I'm trying to get beyond the funding, and it's really about the desire and the burning thing, the burning passion that we as artists have inside, that nothing will stop us. Even if it means not getting the money, we still find a way.
You're still going to be creating. I want to talk, you had mentioned beforehand about the Living Legends.
Yes.
This is a show that's coming up, you said, in September. This will resonate with everybody in the Bronx. Tell us all about it.
Very excited. Again, this really talks about the community responsiveness. Living Legends, we are in partnership with many organizations, New York City, architecture, civic leaders, Urban Omnibus, and we are featuring Bronx-based photographer Abigail Montez, and we're also doing oral histories. And this exhibit centers around not only the history, but the future visions.
I'm going to do a drum roll.
of the Cross Bronx Expressway.
The Cross Bronx Expressway. Ever heard of it?
So I'm sure as viewers and you know that there's a lot of conversation around the Cross Bronx Expressway right now, as well as the embedded history and the impact, both socioeconomic and environmental impacts of the Cross Bronx Expressway on residents.
Is there an agenda for this, or are you really just putting it out factually and let the art stand for itself and that people see it and then interpret what they think is best?
I think the agenda is to have conversation. I don't think it's to sway. It's certainly not a political movement to sway feelings about the expressway. It's a reimagining of what is the Cross Bronx Expressway past, but also what is the future vision of what the communities want. And there's oral histories, and there's going to be a series of conversations, panels, dialogue, and capturing
exciting. People's
stories and experience. So I would say it's not only a passive viewing experience, but it's experiential and in conversation.
And when is it? What are the dates?
So the dates are September 26th through November 7th, and on a series of Saturdays, dates to be announced. There will be civic leaders,
All
artists,
kinds of,
all sorts of engagement activities, and everything is free.
Congratulations! What a wonderful concept and conceptual thing to really talk. We talked about the interactivity between the Bronx River Art Center and the community. That's it. Last thing I just want to mention, because I have been there for these things, there's a big piano in there. There's a performance space.
Yeah, so we, with my theater background, I am really excited to be expanding our performing arts as well. We just closed out Bronx River Sounds, which is our annual music festival, which is funded, thankfully, from the city. We get a lot of support from the city. We had 3 different days, 6 different performances, workshops, live drumming, Grammy Award-winning artists.
We're going to run out of time. It is just wonderful, folks. It's BronxRiverArt.org. Check out the website. You can see about all the events. Michele, what's next for you? Do you create every day? You wake up in the morning and say, what am I doing today? Or it's like you kind of get up and walk around and then say, oh, maybe I'll do this. What do you do?
Oh, gosh.
Admit it.
Yeah, no, the mornings are my most productive time.
Really?
That's when I really want to get to work.
You've been storing all that stuff up here and all night long.
And processing it. I mean, just getting ready in the kitchen, ideas will come, and so and walking, to the subway. It's all there, every day.
Well, thank you both so much for being who you are, for championing what we desperately need, and for every child, start there in the borough of the Bronx and in every school. The Bronx River Art Center is a place to do it, BronxRiverArt.org. Akia Squtieri, thank you so much. Michele Brody, thank you. Keep on. I don't have to tell you because you will.
Thanks so much for having us. It was a pleasure.
Folks, that'll conclude the program for tonight. We thank our great producer, Rebecca Hemmick, our BronxNet production and editing crew. And of course, to you too, it's always about you. It's the people of the Bronx. And we'll see you next time. Good night.